Okay, what have we got in the box? Oh, we've got a pin badge. You love a pin badge.
I love a pin badge.
Oh, absolutely. Here it is. It is. Okay, it looks like a mountain, a peak, you could say. Oh, except for the fact that it's actually that way around, and it's the graph of the share price going down. Okay, that's today's pin badge. Okay.
Definitely open to interpretation, I think, that one.
I've got to say it's a peak. So, beginning my investigation here. Okay. Oh. Possessions from victims. Victims, plural.
Because if you remember from the framing story, that there are multiple people who have been in a coma, not just Timothy.
Indeed, and actually that is on this letter here. So we've got a letter from the detective there, and we also have something that says please do not bend, something that says possessions from the victim. So I'm going to start with the letter from Arthur, who very kindly has given us his address. Very tempted to write to it. Dear Detective, if you haven't seen already, this is what happened at the Cadmos AI launch, which I'm just going to check was that. Yeah, that is what we just saw. I can't believe that all this happened because we didn't manage to retrieve the key card and uniform in time. I'm not going to play the blame game. But it was our fault. We had to put this right. I have an idea. If we can find out who would benefit from what's happened to Cadmos AI, then we might be able to find out who was responsible. And if we can get to whoever is responsible, we can hopefully get Timothy to wake up. There are a few people around the world in a mysterious coma. They've all got a link to Cadmos AI in some form of mysterious way. It seems that the failed Cadmos AI launch has rocked the financial world. So could the blackmailer have benefited from the event going wrong somehow? I've been in touch with my friend Cleo, who works as a financial crime investigator for the International Crime Agency, and she said she'll do her best to help us. So you should drop her an email. I've included her business card in this envelope. Okay. I've also collected as much information and evidence as I can about the other patients and how their conditions came about. We know a lot about Timothy and Toby. Not sure who Toby is actually, but we haven't yet investigated the incidents around Amy, Madison, or Ruby. Maybe one of them will hold the key. Oh, Toby Albrecht is sadly deceased. He sadly is deceased. Died in episode 2. I'll be in touch with you throughout the case, so make sure you regularly check your emails, both inbox and junk. And I'm not saying I've been brought up by Big Broccoli, but look at this. Broccoli. Don't say this isn't planned out. I meant to have this just lying here at the start of the stream. However, I forgot and I just texted my landlady, so she's just popped in my room with holding said broccoli, looking very, very confused. Why am I in a deer stalker? Why have I asked for broccoli? She's a saint. Okay. I know you can do. There's bits of broccoli everywhere. There's bits. This is not what I wanted. Okay, I'm just going to start with the begin my investigation here envelope as well. Timothy remains in a coma despite all your endeavours so far. You and Arthur still haven't found a way to wake him. Following the events in Hanover at the launch of the Cadmos AI robot, it's becoming increasingly clear whoever is behind the comas has been blackmailing the parents of the victims in order to achieve their goals. We've enclosed an envelope from Arthur, etc, etc, etc. So let's take a look at the do not bend one first. Ooh, exciting. I have no idea what I'm going to do with the broccoli, by the way. I'm not a huge broccoli fan.
You cut it and steam it.
Yes. This involves cooking and cooking. Here we go. I have... So we get it. So the aim of this month, is to find out who would profit from the share price going well down. It's good roasted. Okay, here's the business card. ICA, tackling international crime. Cleo Wood. So we will email her. Clem Hill Hospital. New patient form for Ruby Bridges. So that's some information on Ruby. We've got someone similar information on Timothy Lee from his hospital. Again, we've got some more information from the hospital in Maine, and also for Amy. Is it Amy or Amy? It is Amy, isn't it?
I'd say Amy.
Said say we'll know. We've also got a brochure here. For the
It's more I me, but that's okay.
No, I would like to try and be right for odd occasion. Amy, okay. Fighting financial crime. ICA can help you see through the fraudsters. Okay. Financial crime. In this guide, you will learn the basics about many types of financial crime so you can detect those people who wish to obtain money illegally. Please do not use this guide in order to commit financial crimes. If that is your intention, stop reading now. Oh, fine. Forgery. So, ever since someone invented money, people have been trying to forge it. Modern banknotes contain a number of different security features, making it increasingly difficult for forgers to pass fake currency. They include watermarks, holographic thread, UV security symbols. A combo of these features means the banknotes are increasingly difficult to forge. Check forgery. While checks do contain some similar security features to banknotes like watermarks and UV, they are often easier for forgers to recreate. However, unlike banknotes, many modern banks also utilise secret patterns in their checks. For securities, banks do not publish the patterns, but experts understand that banks often use multiple different patterns within the same check. A fraudster might be able to replicate some of the patterns, but would unlikely to be able to spot and recreate all of them. So I think we're going to be doing some forgery stuff. Here.
Are you planning to use this guide in order to commit financial crimes?
For now, no.
Okay.
So I can keep on
the
reading.
warning on. Yeah, the warning on the left is good.
Yeah. Stocks and shares fraud. Insider trading occurs when someone buys shares ahead of, based on information that isn't publicly available. For example, imagine you work for a company and you are told that they made a big profit. Based on this information, you buy shares in the company before that information is made public, so that when the information is made public, you see the value of those shares rise. You have benefited from non-public information and therefore guilty of insider trading. So that's insider trading. Illegal stock shorting. Isn't this what happened to GameStop? Is this what shorting was? Shorting shares.
Shorting is a completely legal practice. It means if I think a stock, let's pick a company we don't like. If I think Amazon is going to go down, I will actually the easiest thing for me to do is to buy one, is to borrow someone's 100 shares, and then wait for it to go down, and then I can give them back later at a lower price.
Yes.
Shorting is just a, if you believe that numbers can be negative, you can short stuff. Now, what's illegal is for me to do it and then hope the price to go down. Yeah, and then for me to just kind of lie, kind of thing. So
shorting shares. You've basically just paraphrased this.
Sorry.
Shorting shares is not illegal in itself. Illegal. For those unfamiliar with the practice, shorting shares is the process of borrowing a share from its owner, selling it, and hoping the price goes down, buying it back, and finally returning the share to its original owner, as Scott said. So rather than buying a stock, you could sell it later on. You sell it first and then later buy it.
Yeah. GameStop is this weirder, and there are other things like other stocks that have done this where they're popular, so the stock goes up because it's in demand, so they get media coverage so that there's more demand.
Annika says,
Annika
says we had a talk from a company that does banknote printing. They handed round some samples, but were very careful to make sure they all came back.
Well, was it Cutthroat Kitchen made sure to use so this happens in movie printing a lot, where they will make sure they try really, really hard to make sure that the prop money comes back, because sometimes it gets misplaced and
I've worked on a show with bundles of cash which were real bundles of cash. Genuine. It wasn't prop money, and it wasn't even prop money. It wasn't even a real note on the two sides and then just bundles of paper in the middle. No, it was entirely real all throughout. And I got to look after it once.
Nice. I personally think that all game shows that give away cash prizes should do it the impossible method.
In pound coins.
Yes, absolutely. Just a big old stack right there. There you go. Take it home. Now I want one of those tornado booths with pound coins.
I love
just
them.
whatever you can carry.
I'd love to go in a grab machine and have a no, but not with pound coins.
Yes, with coins.
So that's illegal stock shorting. It could lead to illegal manipulation of share prices. Other financial crimes, pyramid schemes, of course, big in the ancient Egyptian community. And a pyramid scheme, also known as referral fraud, is where a perpetrator recruits a number of members, each of whom has to then pay to join the scheme, and then they have to get others. We all know what a pyramid scheme is, yes. What's the difference between that and a Ponzi scheme? A more advanced version of a pyramid scheme, the Ponzi scheme, involves the perpetrator taking investments from victims, using a portion of that money to pay interests on the investments of people who've already paid in. Oh, okay, so a pyramid doesn't do that investment. Okay.
I mean, yeah, pyramid scheme isn't necessarily illegal. I mean, it just says that, hey, you get $20 for every person you recruit, but that's great. It's when I pay you solely because there's new money coming in. That's a Ponzi.
Ponzi schemes are often disguised as legitimate investment schemes, often offering suspiciously high levels of interest. They usually only come to light when new investments stop being made or existing investors ask for their money back. The largest known Ponzi scheme was estimated to be worth in excess of $64 billion. That is a big scheme. Even in Catnip, hope you're doing well.
Hello. Yeah, I would encourage those of you who haven't had the chance, find a good documentary. It's the BBC. There's probably a documentary about it, but find a documentary on Bernie Madoff and his investment scheme, and how it was literally everyone thought it was completely legitimate until the very last day. It shows how good you can be at hiding your crimes as long as you pay off enough people.
Mm-hmm. And then there's some information here on the International Crime Agency.
Yes.
It's a global organisation, field offices in 20 countries, staffed by over 10,000 agents. From our field offices, we can reach 95% of countries in the world within just 3 hours. So wherever criminals are doing crime, you could be sure that we're not far behind. And then it says we have offices in, and then a list of countries there: Austria, Tanzania, Spain, Singapore, Malta, China, Slovakia, UK, USA, Russia, New Zealand, Finland, Italy, Ireland, Brazil, Morocco, and Serbia. It can't just be that, because they can't get to everywhere within 3 hours of that. But anyway, if you need us, you can email us, and I think we might be doing that at that email addresses there.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Okay, so that's that.
I make online training for a living, and as part of a financial department, I had to do some compliance courses, one of which was bribery and corruption. But because it was looped in with a load of other training courses about how to do things, people were thinking that it was actually an instruction guide on bribery and corruption rather than... so I had to change the name to anti-bribery.
That's the other thing. Like, there's we're raising money for cancer or against cancer.
Yeah.
We are fighting kids with cancer. Wait, no, hold on.
Let's have a look at these possession from victims. Yes, Catnip. Joining me today is Helen, aka Tebow Bear. Broccoli is going to be the raid message. I do feel so. Okay, let's take a look at the possessions from the victims. First on up is this, which is...
Ooh.
You have a lot of stuff to get through, just so you know.
Which is an empty packet of... It's just an empty packet. Has it fallen out? Yes, it has. It's chopsticks. That's why. Okay, right. Chopsticks with, if I go to the close shot, a little smiley face. Oh. Just on one chopstick. I don't know if that's the left or the right chopstick, but there we go. Okay, so we've got a couple of chopsticks with a little smiley face. What else have we got? So basically this week I'm going through everything to start off with, and then starting the puzzles.
Well, I just bear in mind the time. There is a lot of stuff to get through.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay. Personal effects of Ruby Bridges. Dear Arthur, it saddens me, not maddens me, that Ruby and Timothy are still in a coma. When Ruby was admitted to Clem Hill, she did not have her bag on her, therefore didn't have much space for personal belongings, only the pockets on her jeans. I tracked down these jeans for you. I've attached a scan of the recipe that I found inside. It seems quite damaged.
Read it again.
I've attached a scan of the recipe I found inside.
Read it again.
Have attached...
Oh, Scott.
Receipts! Oh, it's going to be a long evening. Right. It seems quite damaged. I hope this is of help. There is a scan of that. So we've got... Ruby had a receipt. We also have a card here from Hirosaki Botanical. Explorer Adult admits 1 free entry for members. Join today. That's hirosakibotanical.com for the latest news and events. Visit there. So that is going to be useful.
Yeah.
Hanover.
I'm gonna have a.
Go on.
I'm gonna say you might need to separate the effects for each person because.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The chopsticks, I'm going to say, are going to be Amy. That was obviously Ruby. This will be one of the others, and so on and so forth. Hanover buses cruise around Hanover in style. Our bus routes, we know them like the back of our hand. Okay, so we've got a map of Hanover and a few bus routes with tourist attractions on. Okay, I feel like that will be coming up as well. Buses are like big cars. Hanover buses are so comfortable I once fell fast asleep and woke up in their depot. Okay, so we've got that there. We've also got...
What's the thing on the inside of the bus brochure?
It's a map.
Yeah, no, on the upper left of the brochure, yeah.
We hope you enjoy riding the buses just as much as you enjoy whatever you are doing at your destination.
No, the other corner.
Here at the Hanover Bus Company, buses are like big cars. We like to think Hanover's bus network is an intricate series of strings woven throughout the city. If one string breaks, the whole city unravels. That is why we work hard to ensure our transportation network is always efficient and reliable. That's why our motto is buses are like big cars. This motto sums up everything we believe in. Okay.
Oh, good to know. Good to know.
Dine Out in Lewiston, Lewiston's top-rated eateries. Get 10% off with this leaflet. Check out Lewiston's sick food scene. This from Brad, the tourist. So there's a list on the back. Cheesy Does It. Burgers rated the best in Maine. The Jerky Boys are all singing, all dancing, all grilling. Offer valid when purchasing 2 main meals, 2 sides, and 2 drinks. Our top picks, we've got the Italian Gob, the Great Barrier Reef, Chicken Bun, the Jerky Boys, and a few others there, and then how to book. We will be WhatsApping someone there. Right, that's your big information dump at the start of today's puzzles. We're going to start with contacting the International Crime Agency. And go from there. So, as I say, what we need to do this week is find out who would have interest in slashing the price of Cadmos AI's share price. That is today's aim. So let's start with c.wood at internationalcrimeagency.com. Subject, hello, tell me things. It's a good start, isn't it?
That's all you need.
I think so. Do they have a website as well? I'm not sure they do. We will have enough websites to look through today anyway, so...
For the International Crime Agency?
Yeah, internationalcrimeagency.com probably. But anyway, Cleo has very quickly typed this huge amount of text. Hello, Detective. I'm glad Arthur passed my details on to you. I'd love to help out. However, things are pretty busy at work right now. If I'm going to have time to help you, I'm going to need you to help me with one of the cases I'm currently working on. Of course I am. It's a relatively straightforward case. Well, if it is, why haven't you done it, Cleo? Principal Banking have reported that they suspect a number of forged cheques are being cashed at branches. The problem is, while they suspect forged cheques are being passed, they haven't actually been able to locate any of them. If we can track down one of these cheques, then the name of the payee on the cheque will be the perpetrator. These cheques are clearly expert forgeries, and we don't have the resources to forensically examine millions of cheques that are cashed in every week. However, we've had an anonymous tip-off that the forger passed a cheque last Tuesday at the Ramsgate branch. I need you to see if you can identify the cheque in question. You'll probably find it easiest to get in touch with the branch directly, so we're going to email dawn@principalbanking.com. Let me know the name of the perpetrator when you identify them.
And it said straightforward. It didn't say short. It didn't say easy. Straightforward is just straightforward.
Thank you for the raid, Cypher House. Woo!
Hey,
60.
welcome,
Hello,
everybody.
Hello. Come, draw yourself around the fire. We are currently, for no good reason...
Go write your email. I'll catch up.
Okay,
I'll catch them up.
Okay, go on.
Yeah. So yeah, Dan is in the middle of solving an international crime issue. A bunch of AIs had malfunctioned at an event, ruining a stock price, and we're trying to figure out who did it. The detective in question has said to work on one of his cases in exchange, and so he's trying to do that.
Thank you. Good summary. And also, I've been brought up by Big Broccoli because of the slight ad here to buy broccoli.
Yeah.
It happened. I don't know how it happened.
Yeah. And don't feel bad if you want to give out. There's no for this stream, for the Detective Society streams, we have no rule on backseat helping. So if you do see something that's worth spotting, go for it. You can shout it out. Mm-hmm.
So Dawn says, Cleo said you'd be getting in touch. I'm glad someone is looking into this. We had a lot of checks paid in last Tuesday, so I don't have time to scan them all and send them to you. But if you could work out roughly when they came in, then I could just send you the checks of those images. If you send me an hour-long time slot, i.e. 4 to 5, then I'll send you the checks we paid in then. In case it's of use, we're usually busiest from 12 till 1, so I'm sure the person who cashed the checks wouldn't have risked coming in then.
There is some very useful information on the principalbanking.com website.
Okay, so there is a link to principalbanking.com. So, I'm very much enjoying this website's layout. I like these sort of geometric sort of eye puzzles. We treat our customers like we treat our family. We are always friendly and polite, okay? So they have safe deposit boxes. They do crypto. Owls invade branch. Hang on. Customers at the principal bank in Ramsgate were left shocked when a parliament of owls invaded their branch last week. The owls took up residence in the cash-checking part of the bank. Aha! Forcing services to be suspended for a period of time. All owls were eventually captured and released back into the wild. However, despite the release site being 15 miles from the branch, the owls managed to find their way back into the bank. They have now been caught for a second time and will be taken to a release site over 200 miles away. Should they find their way back into the bank for the third time, it is likely the branch will have to be relocated to a different part of Ramsgate. The reason for the owls' obsession with the bank is unclear. Okay, so that's a problem. So we know that there's going to be a time when they couldn't have brought the check in because there were owls.
What day was the owl incident?
I wanted it to be Tuesday because it was a Tuesday, but it doesn't say. No.
I think
there is further information in the branch finder, though.
Mm-hmm. Right. By the way, do note that they are using a plural of owls.
Yes.
Is the only time I've seen that plural in the wild.
Employee wins Olympic medal, but the Olympic has a little thingy on. Competitors are... Oh my god, the staple chase, where competitors are required to run 3,000 metres while stapling together stacks of documents at 100-metre intervals. She completed a world record, did a world record time of 11 minutes and 23 seconds, a full minute faster than her nearest rival. Such is her enthusiasm for stapling, she declared she could do it better. Oh my goodness. Sadly, on the third lap, Grace received a paper cut, which unfortunately caused her second attempt to be suspended. She sadly succumbed to her injuries and died 2 weeks later.
Man, someone has died.
Sorry. As a final tribute, Principal Banking paid for her to be buried in a coffin made of paper. These are the administrative Olympics, which are held annually in Slough, of course, are in no way affiliated. Right, branch finder. Where do I live? Ramsgate. We apologise that due to a technical malfunction, check processing was unavailable on Tuesday after 3 p.m. Okay, so we're narrowing down the time that these checks... I'm still crying from that. Oh, dear. Tuesday. So we know the hours are 11 till 5. It can't be 3 p.m. or after. So we've narrowed it down to 11 till 3. If you're looking to withdraw a large amount of cash, we advise doing so between 11 and 12, as that's when our highly trained and very alert security guards are on site. So therefore you wouldn't do it 11 till 12 because that's when the guards are there. It's not like anything else interesting ever happens in Slough, says Stephen. Harsh, but fair. We close for lunch 1 till 2. And didn't we have a piece of information here? So we're usually busiest from 12 till 1. So it's not 12 till 1. It's not 11 till 12, and it's not 1 till 2. So it could be 2 till 3, or it could be before. It can't be before 11 a.m. They're closed, so it must be 2 till 3 p.m. That's the only time. 2 till 3 p.m. That's the only time it could have been.
I concur.
Excellent. They did it between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. Give us things. There we go.
Or 12 and 2:59. And no, sorry, 2 and 2:59, like Kronos said.
And now, if I'd have entered that in the 24-hour format, I bet it wouldn't have picked it up. It's why we've been subtly given everything in this time format.
Yeah.
Hi there. Right, okay. Here are all the checks that were cashed between 2 and 3 p.m. Email Cleo the name of the perp when you identify them. Standard owl time, says Caroline. UV functionality enabled. Okay. So I'm just going to zoom through these. There's 4 checks. Oh, and for each of them we could turn the UV on. Oh. Oh, one. So 6 stars and 7. 1 star and 2. 1 star and 3. 8 stars and 1. Okay. So can I zoom out of this here just so I get them all on the same page? Okay. It's a bit small. Right. So one of these is a forgery. So one of these people... Do we need... Hang on. What do we need? We need the name of... Oh. We need the name of something. But first of all... So it's got to relate to this number, surely? Because that's the only thing that it's got in common. Like...
You know how to tell if a check is fraudulent or not?
So it says... According to my guide booklet from the International Crime Agency, experts understand that banks often use multiple different patterns within the same check. A fraudster might be able to replicate some of the patterns, but would unlikely be able to spot and recreate all of them. So there's watermarks and UV that we've got to look for. So it's something to do with the number of stars and this number, yes? Well, it's got to be.
I think I know the star one.
Oh, okay. So there's 6 on this one. Is there a number 6? That's the last digit there. Ah, is that...
Yes.
Okay.
That's where I was going.
Aha, that's a 1.
Yep.
That's a 1. And that's an 8. Good?
Yep.
That works. Okay.
That's as far as I've got.
Okay. So there's a number here. Is there a 7? No 7s there. Of course, we know that one of these doesn't obey the rule. Sadster is currently pointing a UV lamp at his screen.
I'm going to recommend that you turn off the UV.
Ooh.
I mean, make note of the numbers, but you can turn off the UV.
Okay. So 7, 2, 3, 1. 7,
Okay.
2, 3, 1.
Remember the numerals baked into the check, so it has nothing to do with the amount or the name or the signature.
No, it can't. So it's got to be something to do with the check number or the sort code or the account number. It's unlikely to be the sort code, but it could be. It could be something to do with the check digit or the sum of them or something. Could it be the design? Have we got more than one of the same design here? No, they're all sort of peaky, as it were.
Ah, was it the number of peaks then? Oh no, there's more than 3.
No. You could well be right. This was a 2 and there's 2 peaks. This is a 3 and there's actually 4 there. This is 1 and has 1 peak. This is a 7. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think you're on it. I think you're on the money.
The check.
Indeed. So the one that fails is this one here because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but has got the number 3, which is very much wrong.
I was thinking because it didn't match, I was wrong, but then I realised there's one.
There's
fake.
one that's got to fail the rule. It's like Only Connect but harder. What connects 3 of these 4 apparently random things?
It's like the answer list, but they're not in alphabetical order. I mean, oops, I didn't say that.
You mean Answer Trap, but yes.
Answer Trap, sorry, yeah. I hope that controversy is real. I really do.
Oh, they just forgot to randomise it. That's all it is.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I really hope that's what it is. Because it would be fun. It would be funny.
So are we saying... Go on.
As someone, as you have done a number of shows in production, both for money and for just Discord and whatever, the number of times you can forget an important step is very, very high.
Absolutely, and I know the graphics company Kinetic Pixel. I know how they'll have done it. They will have just forgotten to random it. What the fun thing is that no one spotted it.
Yep.
Anyway, so well done to someone else. Someone said it in the chat. Stephen said it in the chat. And Kronos. So it's this check here. So Jessica Sheen must be the person who is the forger, because you would pay it to yourself, wouldn't you? That's what you want. You want that money.
That's the point. Yeah.
Jessica Sheen is naughty. I am a child. I'm a child with a Deerstalker hat.
But what was the instruction?
To email Cleo. Fine. Who is it? Jessica. I forgot who it was now.
Jessica Sheen.
Jessica Sheen isn't clean. There we go. Thank you, Stephen. It doesn't actually fit me, but I will. I can let the flaps down, but only in winter because it's too hot up here to do that. Okay, so what does that give us? Dawn. I don't need to know who. Look, it's that is the modern banking curse. We don't care if you're stealing from us. Right. Hi, Detective. Thanks for that information and thanks for the follow. Finnisternacht.
Be very clear. The bank doesn't care. It has to go through criminal and then insurance things. I've actually had this happen a few times where I've had to report something stolen. It has to go through procedures. It's not a personal thing.
Ugh.
Yeah.
No. That was me going. Ugh, that's icky. That's not nice. Because that's horrible. Right. Thanks for the information. We'll send a team out there immediately to arrest her. You did some fantastic work for today, and whilst you were working on that, I held up my end of the bargain and found the document you need. I've forgotten why we're doing this, but there is a reason. The report has all of the buy and sell orders for Cadmos AI from last month. Good, because we're after who could be interested in seeing the shares plummet in Cadmos AI. Hope you can find something useful. I'll keep an eye on you, Detective. I may contact you in the future, so keep an eye on your inbox and junk mail at all times, just in case. Get you, Cleo.
Just in my heart, I want to believe that somebody getting mail from internationalcrimeagency.com might have gotten into the spam filter, which is why they're a little more upfront about please check your...
I want to check my spam email. Hooray, no spam here. That's good.
Yeah, but just this idea of that it's got to happen in beta or something like that.
I'm just going to see internationalcrimeagency.com, given that came from International Crime.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a website. Excellent. Let's see if I can have a quick scout about us. Nothing particularly exciting there that I can see. No owl incidents anyway. That's just there, founded in 17 founding countries. Okay, fine. Well, it has a website anyway. So anyway, this is the information that we've just been given for that. Major share transactions. All transactions made by the 10 biggest buyers and sellers of Cadmos AI stock in chronological order. Okay. Buy, sell. Buy, sell. Okay, that's fine. Incident then at the Hanover Centre. Sell. And then buy. This would be... So we'd be intrigued by people buying at this point, I guess. Why would we be given? Oh, so we now need to sort of look and see. G7. If I click on that. Oh, okay. We can click on each user and we can see what stocks they have in anything by the looks of it. Cadmos AI had 800,000 0. Okay, gonna just have a click around. Okay, big brick energy. Naughty. Yes, so we need insider trading or something like that, don't we? Which we've luckily been given a thing about. We've been given email addresses. Okay. So let me just zoom you out so you can see more of you. So insider trading, the definition of that, because I wasn't quite sure what it was. Oh, you have to have benefited from non-public information. So they would have sold right before the incident. So we've got a sell here, we've got a sell here, and a sell here. So we're interested in people selling right before the thing. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you're on the right track. I mean, the
Hats Corp. Do I just email these and go, oi, who are you? Why did you sell some of these?
no, you should probably narrow it down to the right person.
Yeah, all right
Go
then.
go back. Hold on, I just want to look at the full board here. All right. Scroll on. Okay. Okay. I have the information I need. I'll let you piece it together. You can ask for hints. So, chat, just so you know, I do have the hint sheet, so we won't lose a lot of time if Dan gets stuck. And Tebow's here too. And chat, you're here too. So all the ideas are valid. So what are you looking for?
Would they have bought again afterwards? Because Huck92 buys.
So
Oh no, they.
Do you remember? Do you remember the hint I gave, or not hint, but do you remember? So do you know what a naked short is?
Is it a Channel 5 game show?
That is half of Naked Attraction. No. So
a naked short. Where you.
I'm checking to see if it's even legal in the United Kingdom. It is not, but it's legal. It's sort of semi-legal. Shorting is just again a bet, a wager that, hey, this stock is going to go down, so I'm going to sell my stock now, and then I might buy it back later at a cheaper price. You know, that's
sure.
Something you can do, and that's perfectly fine. That's scummy, but that's fine. That's like betting on your favorite team to lose. That's okay. You know. Now, what is borderline illegal is to sell stock you don't even own, knowing that something bad will happen and that you'll buy it back later after the event. So, that's your hint.
Okay. So, after the event, they'll have need to have bought it again. So, we have TO, JT5, NVGWO, and HUK92. Those are our 3 prime suspects because they've bought stuff.
Right.
Now, Huck bought 500 and bought 500. So has bought 1,000. Then there was the incident, and then they've just bought another 1,000. So that covers their 1,000 up here, doesn't it? Okay. TOJT5. We've got a sell here, a buy here. So TOJT5 bought 100, sold it right before the incident. After the incident, then sold another 100, and then bought 500 at a much cheaper price. And then there's NVGWO. They sold a lot. So they sold 800 right before. So that sounds like insider trading, that one. Selling of 800 stocks, or 800,000, whatever it is, before the thing.
So how much did they buy before the thing?
Just trying to... I've forgotten what I'm trying to do. Touch it. So it's just someone who's...
You can get in touch with whoever's responsible. So that's going to be your hint. That's going to be the next step.
Yes,
So how much did NVG buy before the incident?
Nothing.
So how did they sell?
Okay.
So somehow they sold, knowing that's the only way you would sell something you don't own is if you knew something up front was going to happen. And that would not
So
be
they've
me.
started at 0 here because it was floated on the stock market. They went to minus
Yeah.
400, minus 800.
Minus
Then there's
800,
the
and
incident. Then they bought 800 at a much cheaper price, making a profit. Hello.
that's the fishy.
Hello.
There you go.
So
You've
let's
now worked it out.
contact you.
So that's right. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. You're right, Annika. But yeah, it's the buying something with the express. You can do this. There's in the US. There's a couple. There's one person who's very upfront about this. Like they think this one other company is run so poorly that they intentionally short it, and they're upfront about it that they will happily short their stock all the way down. It's just funny. This is
I'm just
terrible. This is terrible.
Oh dear.
I do love a good cider. It's been a year and a half since I've had a proper
I tell you, I bought a cider for the first time this week in about 5 years. I'm not sure I really like cider. It's an alcohol-free cider, and it's a pear cider because it'll be sweeter than an apple cider. So I don't drink. I'm not a fan of drinking, but alcohol-free pear cider. Oh yeah. So I bought that on Monday.
I miss. It's one of those things of it's a long way. I give up the entire evening, but I kind of miss doing a pub quiz, like in a pub with like people you can argue with.
Now, I've got an email from them, and all it says is click here. This is a lovely brand new computer. I'm terrified of clicking this link. It just looks so suspicious.
You are you are catching someone in the middle of a. I mean, you know how to take. Do you know how to be safe about these things?
In incognito mode, I guess. But
well, start with copying the link, and then look at the link
copy
itself.
link address. It's rickroll.com or something. Mobius Inc. Okay. Oh god. Okay, here we go. So I don't think Thibaut and Scott, you won't be able to hear this, so you'll need to just quickly go to my Twitch channel and listen to it there. Sorry about that. I'll give you a couple of seconds just to do that. But here we go. Are you ready?
Yep.
Here we go.
You're getting a little too close to discovering my identity for my
Oh,
work.
that's so quiet. I can't hear it.
So I'm willing to cut you a deal. I'm going to bring those 4 people out of their comas. But in return, I want you to forget I ever existed. If you carry on investigating me, then I will be forced to take further action. Consider yourself warned. I hope to never speak to you again.
Sounds like Nick Gates. Or Brig Bother, if for those of you in the game show community who know who this is. Okay, he said he's going to wake up the 4 people in comas on the condition that we stop investigating him. Intriguing.
Well,
We are totally not going to stop investigating him, by the way. Timothy's awake. The hospital just called. Timothy has woken up. I don't know what you did, Detective, but it worked. This is the best day ever. You've got a choice to make, Detective. We've been successful in waking up Timothy, so we could stop investigating the case, everyone. It was a lovely stream. Have a good evening, everyone. Goodbye. However, whoever is responsible for the death of Toby Albrecht and what happened at the Hanover Centre is still out there. Personally, I want to continue going after them. And I have paid for 2.5 more episodes, so I'm going to keep on going. I can't do it alone. If you don't want to continue with the case, then I guess this is the end of the road. Thanks for everything, Detective. However, I think there is a lot we could be getting on with right now. If Timothy is awake, then the other victims are as well. With their testimony combined with those items I sent you, I'm sure we can find the person responsible.
all right. Well, I'll ask the chat.
I'll set up a poll. Do we start? Do we continue?
Yeah, that's the poll. Just quickly vote. Just should we continue on? Or I mean, again, we were hired to bring back, to check on Timothy, and they're fine. So, but yeah,
What a quandary.
yeah. We have 30 seconds left.
So, I'm very much looking forward to seeing. There are people voting no.
I'm just thinking of quisps.
Oh. That's one of the top 10 Taskmaster moments. Right, I'll do it for a big bag of quavers, was what I said. Excellent.
Yeah.
First things first, we need to identify who it was that was responsible for each of the victims falling into a coma. They've each sent short messages of what they can remember. It's not much to go on, but maybe you'll find them useful. So we'll check that out in a second. So make sure that you'll be able to... The chat says yes, we continue. The 4 of you who voted no... No. I'm certain they all met the same person, but one of the effects of the comas appears to be that it has affected the memories of the events in the days before they fell unconscious. So you'll need to piece together exactly what he looked like. Fortunately, Cleo has given us access to the International Crime Agency's electronic face recognition software, which might be of use. You can access it here. Try to piece together the face of the person responsible for the comas. And once you've done that, maybe you can find some record of him. Email me with what you discover.
I do want to counterpoint to the chat. Democracy does work. We know what happened to the the gritting machines in Scotland. Those names are wonderful. I will also, I don't have time to get into this, but I also know the other jurisdictions in the U.S. have also set up their machines up to a public vote with similar results.
Okay, voice note from Timothy.
Hello, Detective.
Have you got? I hope you are able to listen in, Scott and Tebow.
Yep.
Awesome. Here we go. Let's just put the volume all the way up.
Hello, Detective. My brother tells me that you've been instrumental in helping wake me up from my coma. Thank you so much for everything you've done. I'd love to be able to help catch whoever was responsible. But there's very little I actually remember about the man I met at the Milford Worldwide Hotel. It was a sunny day, and as he walked into the meeting room, I remember he took off some expensive-looking sunglasses. Also, I'm pretty sure he had the same build as me, but that's all I can remember. Sorry not to be of more help.
Okay. Milford Worldwide Hotel, which I think we already knew. He had sunglasses, and he has the same build as Timothy Lee, which is annoying because I don't know what the build of Timothy Lee is. And whoa! Tab stop! Tab stop, you are very naughty. I'm going to shake my broccoli at you. Thank you very much, Tab Stock, for the 4 gifted subscriptions there. Well done, Waterfall, Hologrome, Miss Groucher, and Matt the Ref. Have a lovely evening, or everyone. Thank you so much, Tab Stock. That's wonderful.
I'm going to give you a very small heads up. Can you check the face recognition software real quick? Just so that you know what you're looking for.
Okay, face recognition software. Yep. This is the website. Okay. So we've got hair type, hair color, eye shape, eye color, nose type, mouth and facial hair type, build, which is overweight, medium, slender, obese, muscular, and height. Okay, so we've got quite a lot of information that we need to put in.
So I would say you may want to take notes on what you're looking for so that when you listen to these descriptions, you can...
That is a good idea. So I do have here, if I just bring it up, I do have here... Oh, yes, there it is. Boop. So I was just going to make notes, but let's do hair type. Hair type, hair colour, eye shape, glasses. So we know he had reading glasses. We know he had sunglasses, but of course they could have been prescription. Eye colour, nose type, mouth and facial hair type, build and height. So those are the things we're after.
We know what Timothy's build is.
We must... Hang on. I do have here a form from St. Bede's Edinburgh Hospital. We have here a patient information form giving basic details about them. So, his height is 5'11". Patient build is medium, so that means we can definitely put the build as medium in that. So I could put medium there. Do you think that means we can also do his height? I don't think it does. It's only the build there, I reckon, we can get. But that'll be medium build. So that's a start anyway. Okay. Let's have a listen to Ruby's voice note.
Arthur asked me to send you a voice note about this guy's appearance, but all I can remember is that I met him in a coffee shop. I bought us both a drink. I think he had something with chocolate in. I guess if I knew what drink I had, then maybe that would jog my memory. Send me an email if you find anything. My email is ruby.b@mailzilla.co.uk.
Of course you want to know what drink you had. Of course. I'm so sorry. It's so silly of me to presume you could give me information. Right, what was your email address?
Email if you find anything. My email is ruby.b@mailzilla.co.uk.
Okay, so I've written that down. So we need to find where and when she went for the thing. Oh, hang on. Let's have a look at Ruby's. Maybe it was in her personal possessions. Oh, hang on. This isn't. It's just I've noticed that in her allergies, Ruby's allergic to bees, so she shouldn't come anywhere near your house, Tebow, at the moment.
It gets worse when you go to the website.
What website?
Oh, don't worry. I skipped ahead.
Oh, this is good. This means you could guide me. This is good. Okay, I'm going to listen to the voice note from Aimee now.
Mm-hmm.
I can remember a bit about my meeting with him. We met in my favorite park in Hirosaki. I bought my ticket and entered the park. On the way to the meeting, I stuck to the path. I knew where I was going, so I definitely wouldn't have walked down the same path twice. And I remember walking through somewhere that was warm. When I met him, I remember thinking he was a bit taller than me, because he blocked out the view of a large dragon in an adjacent section. We sat down on a bench and I can remember hearing the sound of water and the smell of coffee. I can't really remember what his face looked like, but I do remember thinking that the color of his eyes matched the plants around us, but I can't remember what that color was.
Right, so we've got a route puzzle that we need to do. Won't have gone on the same route twice. Went somewhere warm to start off with, and then there was water and coffee. Matched colour of flowers or something like that. I know you can't quite see that, but you've got enough information there. Now, she said he was slightly taller than her. Aimee is 175 centimetres. So it's taller than 175 centimetres. Is there? Please tell me there's only. Okay, well there's lots of options still left. There's which you can't actually see. It goes all the way up to 210 in bundles of 5. So we know it's 180, 185, 190, and so on and so forth, all the way up to 210. So it's narrowed it down. Okay, let's have a listen to Madison.
Hi there. I really can't think of much, to be honest. The only thing I can recall is when I was stood shaking his hand, I looked down into his eyes and noticed how full and round they were. Good luck tracking him down.
Round eyes. Is that one of the things that we have? Let's have a look. Eyes. Eye shape. Upturned, small and sunken. How full and round. Let's match that. So round and full. Good. We get in there.
She said she looked down into his eyes, so he's shorter than her.
Oh, well spotted. Madison is 6 foot. Exactly, 6 foot 0 inches, which is 182 centimetres. So that means it's so we know it's taller than 175, but less than 182. He is 180 centimetres then. That narrows it down. Good spot, Tebow. Excellent spot. So we've got 3 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 9 things to go. Let's start with... let's have a look at this puzzle from Amy. Just finding her patient form. So from her, we have a ticket. We got this ticket. So we could go to hirosakibotanical.com. So I'm going to go there now. If you want to go there, hirosakibotanical.com. This is the garden that she went to. And I assume that those are her chopsticks as well. Again, chopstick with a little smiley face.
It's a weird assumption to make.
I should always be challenged on my assumptions. This is true.
I mean, I go out with the fork. I'm in California. I go out with a fork all the time.
.com. This might have been in her possessions. Let me just check. Patient name, height, weight, address, nationality, date of birth, employer. She was employed by the Conan Railway Company. Sex, female, marital status, single. Notes, patient was admitted in a comatose state. We've been unable to determine why. Unsure if they'll ever come out of the comatose state. Fair enough. It doesn't say it was in her belongings. Okay. Just remove that. Stretching over 160 hectares. Yeah. The Kaminari Maze, which is popular for all guests. Purchased at the south entrance, it says on this thing. It's got a dragon pagoda. Plants weren't added because the construction went on. Bees! More bees! Hang on.
Yep, exactly.
Someone has an allergy to bees. But that is Madison from Maine. No, ignore that. No, sorry. That's Ruby from Australia. Okay, let's take a look at view the garden map. The site can't be reached. Oh, okay, no, there we go. Here we go. If you're planning on visiting, here we go. Which one of these is the south entrance?
There is a clue to the entrances.
So we've got an entrance here, an entrance here, and an entrance here. So we're going to have to look across the site and find out which one of these is the south entrance, because nothing is ever simple.
No.
Home. Let's have a look around the site then. Water fountains, is it going to be on this page? Izumi water fountain, spectacular.
There's a thing that said see your visit, like a big...
Oh, okay. I'm just going to put the bees. They have an abundance of bees. The construction of the greenhouse had to be halted to ensure the safety of the bees. 3 workers were hospitalised, yep. It tastes particularly good on toast, the honey, yep. To clear up recent confusion, the gardens do not and never have had an abundance of beads. Fair. Blossom, yeah, turns pink, yeah. If you don't like blossom, you should visit the gardens in any season other than spring, yeah. Okay, so our map. So that is your visit. Let's go to your visit. The park can be accessed via its north, east or south gates. Despite it originally being planned, the west gate was never built. There we go. So this would be west, which means this one is north, which means this one here on the right hand side is the south. Right, so we need to find out where she met the man so that we can find out the plants in that region, to find out their colour so that we can find out her eye colour. It's perfectly simple. I am in awe at how they come up with these puzzles, to be fair. So, we know she never walked the same thing twice. Never walked the same path twice. I'm going to play her message again.
I can remember a bit about my meeting with him. We met in my favorite park in Hirosaki. I bought my ticket and entered the park. On the way to the meeting, I stuck to the path. I knew where I was going, so I definitely wouldn't have walked down the same path twice. And I remember walking through somewhere that was warm.
Greenhouse.
When I met
Yeah.
him, I remember thinking he was a bit taller than me,
Yeah, got
because
that.
he blocked out the view of a large dragon in an adjacent section. We
Okay.
sat down on a bench, and I can remember hearing the sound of water and the smell of coffee.
Okay.
I can't really remember what his face looked like, but I do remember thinking that the color of his eyes matched the plants around us, but I can't remember what that color was.
Okay. She did not go down this bottom path here through 8 and 5 because she would have walked the same path twice, I assume. Yes, because she must have gone through the greenhouse, and this is a dead end, so she would have walked this path twice. So she went through the greenhouse, through here. It said she could hear water and there was the smell of coffee. There was dragons in an adjacent section, and they were sat on a bench.
Yep.
So there's Tacky Spring, that's water. There's a cafe here. Does they have to be in the same thing as the cafe, maybe?
I wouldn't have thought so.
She can smell coffee, so she is close to a cafe, which is here, here, or here. She didn't come here, so she's gonna. The path she's gonna go is sort of that, or she wouldn't have walked the same path twice, which means she doesn't leave via the south entrance, because she would have to go back along at least this path and back through the greenhouse to get back through number 7. Just checking the rest of the belongings that I got. That's for Ruby. That's for Hanover. That is for Lewiston, which I think is in the US, in Maine.
I think one fulfills all the criteria of water, cafe, dragons, bench.
There's
Okay.
one piece of information. You have. Are you sure about that?
Maybe not now. You've said that, Scott.
What are you thinking, Helen?
Well, just one seems to have all the criteria that
Oh,
from her message,
wouldn't-
but
you wouldn't smell coffee from that bench in 1, right?
Okay, so it has to be the same.
oh, that has to be the same one.
So
Yeah.
what about 6 then? 6 has a cafe. It borders the Dragon Pagoda. It's next to the water.
Oh,
So
5.
That,
Oh, has 6 got a cafe in it as well? Okay.
I don't think it can be 5 because the only bench in that is down here. She only walked along the paths, and that's a dead end. So she would have
Yeah.
had to walk along the same path, and we know she didn't do that. And we definitely know she walked along somewhere warm first, so she went through the greenhouse.
Depends which way the wind's blowing. Coffee can go quite far. Anyway, I agree. 6 is actually a good contender.
So it looks like she came in through the south entrance, went through here, went through 7th, went through 5, went along the path through 2, doubled back, and then went to 6.
Yes.
So let's take a look at 6. The flowers in here are Centuria Sinus. So Sinus is probably cyan, so it's either sort of a light blue or something like that. Salvia Azurea, that's probably blue as well. And Mechanopsis. I'm assuming these are real plants. I'm assuming if I do a Google search, Mechanopsis, there you go. You've got a lovely light blue there. What was it? Centuria Sinus? Let's do this one. Salvia Azurea. So blue eyes. Blue eyes. There we go. So we're now getting there. So the eye colour is blue. Hooray! Nothing's ever simple. I love it.
Very much liking the mixture of puzzles in this one.
Oh, they're so varied, aren't they? Because that had logic plus observation in it. So I think we've dealt with everything from Amy. I feel like that's it for her. Looking forward to be proven wrong. Let's look at Madison then, because I'm sure. So Madison, we've already said that she was she looked down on and thus was taller than. So we've got the height from Madison. I think that was it.
Hi there. I really can't think of much.
Yeah,
to be
and the
honest.
eyes and the round eyes.
The
That's it,
only
yeah.
thing I can recall is when I was stood shaking his head.
You have
I
used-
looked down into his eyes and noticed how full and round.
You have
they
used the
were.
information
Good
from
luck
Madison's
tracking
voice
him down.
note.
Yeah.
But not her
Well,
patient card.
I'm looking forward to. I'm looking for just to see what else we've used. So patient type, new patient, name, Madison Crawley. Height
I'm-
6'0", 165.
I am
US,
very glad that Tebow knows exactly how to read my sentences.
female.
It's just the tone of voice. I can pick up on it.
Yep. It's there for a reason.
She's a student. Patient was found unresponsive. EMT were called. Vitals seemed fine, but there was no response to treatment. So that's Lewiston, Maine. And I have here a dining menu for Lewiston, Maine. 10% off with the leaflet. So let's have a look. The Italian Gob. This authentic Italian restaurant has been in the Trapattore family for 5 generations, and in all that time they have made the same 3 dishes: chicken parmigiana, spaghetti alla puttanesca, and ravioli with ricotta and spinach. Sure, it's unimaginative, but when those dishes taste this good, why would they make anything else? The Great Barrier Reef. 2 Australian immigrants opened it in 2013. Barbecue food that breaks barriers. Their sauces are less sweet than southern barbecue food. Instead, what makes their flavour interesting is the beer they drizzle on the meat whilst cooking. You'll be begging them to put another shrimp on the barbie. Chicken Bun, first chicken burger joint, rapidly growing in popularity since it opened 3 years ago. Okay. Jerky Boys are Clint and his son Clint Jr. They serve the finest beef jerky in town. I love beef jerky. Jerky is all natural, air dried, packed, and protein. Kind of the best meat. They also serve a great range of beers and cocktails. So there's also Cooking with Ash Smokehouse. Ash the Bash. BB Chew's Barbecue. Oh, hang on. I've got a chopstick here. And, okay, moving to the... Okay, here we go. Close up. Look at the little... except it's not focused on it. Come on, focus.
Uh-huh.
Oh, and I need to stop and start this again. There will be... Anyway, there's something that matches, I imagine. Something that matches. So, let me just... There we go. So, this is... My... Shush you. There we go. So it's that, and
I'm just going to interrupt you. I want you to just, in your best pronouncer voice, recite the names of these 13 restaurants.
Oh.
Just for fun.
Okay. BB
Just read them out.
BB Chew, China Garden, Cheesy Does It, Cooking with Ash Smokehouse, Fortune House, Mikawa, The Big Lichowski, Kale Out, The Notorious P.I.G., Pepper and Pigs, Pitter Pan, Thai Pad, and Rice Baby.
Just want to make sure you're aware of all the terrible bugs.
They are excellent. There are some that share. There's BB Chew, China Garden. It is very difficult for you to see, I appreciate. And the Big Lechowski. Those 3, barbecue, Chinese, and burger, all have the same symbol as this chopstick of the sort of the smiley face with the tongue sticking out.
I wonder which one it might be.
Do you know what that symbol means?
It means tastiest in town.
Good.
Yep.
And?
They don't have any allergies, so I can't eliminate barbecue, China Garden. Well, it's going to be China Garden, isn't it?
Yes.
Just waiting for you to pick that up.
Yeah. So was I, Scott.
Why didn't you help me, Helen? Why didn't you
sorry.
help? I'll shake my broccoli at you.
I was letting you go through the motions.
Right, so let's... we now need to contact the Lewiston Food Authority by WhatsApping or SMSing them. If you usually live outside the USA and are here on a lovely trip I will do that one. Okay. Vamp, whilst I get my phone ready and put yet another ridiculous contact into my phone.
It's okay. I'm pretty.
I would just like to say I could also show you from here. Can you bring my broccoli up? And my landlady said, "What's it worth?"
Can we get these guys to deliver? Because this is making me hungry.
I mean, we can make things deliver.
No.
No. So we have 40 minutes in the stream. You know, we can make something happen.
+44 7782 353.
Now we still have other belongings to get through, and obviously, and there's some other information to get through. But I think you're on a good pace. I think you've got a lot of information worked out.
What am I going to call this contact? Lewiston Food. What did you say? Did you say Brian or something? Okay, WhatsApp. Let me just move this out of the way. Anyway, you've got a sense of my relationship with my landlady now. After
Deliveroo.co.uk.
No.
I'm just going to put in the word broccoli and just see what happens.
See what comes up.
Okay. So China Garden.
Oh,
Please.
that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
Go on.
The autocorrect seems to have I may have for Deliveroo seems to autocomplete Dan's address like I've attempted to do this like 3 or 4 times. So
You're gonna do it one day, and I already in advance. I hate you.
Okay. Ooh, broccoli 85 pence from the co-op. Okay, I'll just send one
This
over.
was 45. Ha.
Bargain.
Well, I'm just taking you to say that's what the takeaway service. Oh, I should get the make sure delivery service.
So I've asked China Garden, do you remember Madison Crawley? And the answer is yes. Strangely, I do remember Madison Crawley. Well, actually, I remember the person she was with. He was so attractive. He was so well groomed. He had a short back and sides, which was a beautiful dark brown and a gorgeous full beard. They came in for lunch. Does that help you out? Yes. Do you? Yes.
Do you do
What
broccoli?
specials do you recommend? Because, you know, if you work for that restaurant, I want to know, what do you specialise in? Great. Now, do you want some food? Yes! Crispy seaweed. Oh, we're going to have to order what they want. I want crispy seaweed. So
Start with fried rice or egg rolls. I'm very curious to see.
Okay, yes. Chicken, fried rice, spring rolls. No response. How dare they? I mean, maybe they are waiting for a particular dish to come through. I don't know. Anyway, let's go back to this and put in the information that we've just been given. So I'll put it in here first. So short back and sides was... I don't know where that goes. Where is that? Here we go. Short back and sides. Where is that? Here we go. Hair type. So that is the hair type. Short back and side. Which was a beautiful dark brown. Dark brown. Good. And a gorgeous full beard. There we go. And they still... They're not going to get me any food. Look at that. No response.
Oh.
Broccoli you like, Sadster. Don't give Scott ideas. We still need to know whether he had glasses. He had sunglasses, but that doesn't answer the question. And his nose type.
Does it answer the question?
Well, you could get prescription sunglasses.
But what did the message say? You can listen to it again.
So we have now dealt with Madison, who disappointingly does not live on Madison Avenue. That is such a shame. Okay, we've dealt with that. We've dealt with the chopsticks, which is amazing. So Put them in there, put them in there. And it came in a little packet. Look at the tiny little bag that it came in.
Oh.
Little bag. Okay. It's the little things that please me. I can't remember. So let's have a listen from... have we done Timothy?
Let's do his
Timothy with the
message again.
glasses. Yeah.
Yeah, you should listen
Hello,
to his message
detective.
if you haven't figured it
My
out.
brother
Here we go. He's Welsh, you know. He's from the valleys.
tells me that you've been instrumental in helping wake me up from my coma. Thank you so much for everything you've done. I'd love to be able to help catch whoever was responsible, but there's very little I actually remember about the man I met at the Milford Worldwide Hotel. It was a sunny day, and as he walked into the meeting room, I remember he took off some expensive-looking sunglasses. Also, I'm pretty sure he had the same build as me, but that's all I can remember. Sorry not to be of more help.
We've got his build. So it's the Milford Hotels. Are we going to go to that website? We don't think so. It was a sunny day.
You have all the information you need.
The information's on the task. You would make... Scott, you would make such a good Alex Horn.
Yeah.
Just... You've got 4 minutes
He's a better...
remaining. Yeah. So he used the meeting room at the Milford whatever hotel on a sunny day, which is why he was wearing sunglasses. Fine.
And then what did he do with the sunglasses?
He took them off.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to assume glasses, no.
Correct, because...
Because he didn't put any other glasses on.
Right, so even if they were prescription sunglasses, the fact that he did not go back to glasses, just he didn't have any.
I would want a further confirmation in terms of
But
puzzle.
the thing is that if I'm describing someone, and I note that, Alex Horn is 6'2", or 5'1", or 6'2", depending, tall, beard, and I don't include the fact that he has glasses, you can assume that he doesn't, because that's how descriptions work.
Okay. Shush you.
No. I just wanted to do the 5'1" joke, that's all.
Indeed. They say he's 6'2", but he's really 5'4". Little Alex Horn, or whatever it was.
I just appreciate the fact that he's got 2 teenage children that have now also called him Little Alex Horn.
I mean,
it's just stuck, yeah. Because teenagers would do that.
You have to feel sorry for his children, don't you? Because they'll have just been mentally scarred watching his father say dress up as a mermaid with water spouting out as it when he was turned into a water feature, and water spouting of other places when Rod Gilbert gets to it. Anyway, love Taskmaster.
I will just say, just think of the opposite thing. I know you haven't caught up on the podcast, but Lee Mack's children have fallen in love with the show to the point of Lee Mack on a Sunday morning, like, oh, let's go out for a long walk. Like, no, Daddy, we've set up something for you. And he's at that phase of this, yeah.
Oh dear. Cheesy Dancing has prescription sunglasses for driving. See? Prescription sunglasses.
Oh yeah, I have prescription sunglasses sometimes, but it's just that if you describe in a description, you would not say I wear glasses unless I predominantly wear glasses.
Right, Ruby. We've not dealt with Ruby because we have to. She's given us her email address, and I'm going to say Chekhov's gun to that. I've not emailed her, and I need to email her.
Arthur asked me to send you a voice note about this
What do you
guy's
need to
appearance,
email?
but all I can remember is that I met him in a coffee shop. I bought us both a drink. I think he had something with chocolate in. I guess if I knew what drink I had, then maybe that would jog my memory. Send me an email if you find anything. My email is ruby.b@mailzilla.co.uk.
So, we need to find out where they had coffee. So this is her patient form from Clem Hill Hospital, which is in Canberra, New South Wales.
What was that word you had trouble with that we had to make you read 3 times?
Oh, Helen, you're meant to be helping. Stop setting me up. You're meant to be helping. In her, I forgot she had a personal effect.
Arthur asked me to send you a voice.
Shush, Ruby. I've had enough of you. Okay, let's put this. In the close up. Evening, Aidan. By the way. So, Sir Frothalot. Oh, it's Sir Frothalot.
Yeah.
Yay, Sir Frothalot.co.uk. Sir Frothalot. So, .co.uk. The frothiest coffee in town. Okay, so we need... So we know the subtotal is $8.50. We're going to have to look through their menu. So this is their website. We're going to look at their menu. Choose your location. We're going to go for Canberra because luckily they only have 2 branches. Let's have a look at their menu. He had something with chocolate in it. That's going to be... Ooh, either... does a mocha have chocolate in it? Hot chocolate obviously has chocolate in it. Cappuccino can have chocolate on the top. And a luxury hot chocolate. And a chocolate... Everything has chocolate! But we know from the receipt that the total... Well, at least the subtotal comes to $8.50. So... there's
Australian prices are without tax.
So it says $8.50 and then it says tax. So I'm going to assume that this, the menu is... Oh, it helps if I get rid of that. The menu is before tax. So we need 2 drinks that add up to $8.50, one of which has chocolate in it. So if the drink was the mocha, which would be $3.80, you would need another $4.70. Oh, that could work. Chai latte could work because $4.70 and $3.80. No, it needs to be. $4.70 and $3.80. That's $8.50. So that could work.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cappuccino $5.15. So you would need something for $3.35, and that doesn't exist. So we know it's not the cappuccino. Hot chocolate $3.65. So to get up to $8.50, you'd need $4.85. And again, that doesn't exist. Luxury hot chocolate, which costs less than the hot chocolate. Okay, suspicious. $4.95, and that also doesn't exist. Is there any chocolate milkshake $4.20? So you need something for $4.30. That doesn't exist. We've got it. She had a chai latte, which of course we have to email her. Of course we do. So
of course you also have to go through the website.
Okay.
The rest of this website.
Let me just type in her email address whilst I've got it. Really
Sure.
At mailzilla.co.uk. So, Sir Frothalot, where have you gone, Sir Frothalot? Here we go. Let's just reset your thing. Our coffee. For those with pure coffee indulgence in mind, come through our doors and sate your desires with our incredible range of drink. No matter the time or day, we're on the go 24/7 just like you. Okay. Discover our story. Now, you might find it odd having cafes on the opposite sides of the world, but when our founder moved from England to Australia, she wanted to bring a high-quality coffee with her. That's fine. It's all right.
Tasteful receipts.
What's the London one? London one, fair enough. Please note, Australian prices are without tax, whereas UK prices are tax inclusive. Good, so that answers that. So, cafe, coffee, conundrum. You had a chai latte. Thanks, a latte. There we go. Yes, terrible.
Dan's brain's working in overtime. It's great.
Hit really on the ball tonight.
I mean, no. I wish I could say that these were good jokes, but they're not. So this will hopefully jog Ruby's memory about what type of nose he had, because that's what I really want to know. Who knows what the nose is like? Of course, I had a chai spice latte. I remember it all now. Do you know what? If I remember anything about him, it's his nose. Small and slender, just like mine. Here's a picture of my nose so you can compare. Okay. Wonderful, it's a nose.
This got very random very quickly.
Yeah. I hope that helps. Yes, you have a lovely nose, Ruby. Thank you. So, small and slender. We can put that into the face recognition thing. And I think we're all good now. I think we're all good. So let's just have a quick check. So we now know that he had short back and sides, dark brown, hair round and full eyes, no reading glasses, blue eyes, small and slender nose, full beard, medium build, 160 centimeters height.
It was 180.
Wow. Yes, it was. Why didn't I change that? A, I'm a Muppet, and B, good spot, Helen.
It could just be your scroll
Probably.
button has done it. Yeah.
So I've clicked submit. Generating facial sketch. Facial sketch complete. He looks quite nice.
Yeah.
I think, if I remember rightly, I now have to email the International Crimes Place with this. Was that right? No, Arthur. Let's go back through my emails. Cleo. Oh, hang on. Hello, detective. I see you've made great progress with the face recognition software, recreation software.
Oh.
Well done. The face can now be fed into our software, which scans through CCTV footage. However, while it's good, it can't search the whole planet. I've set it up to search the cities where each of the victims were found, but I'll need you to narrow it down to the exact locations where they met the suspect. You can access it here, and there's a link. Also, in case of its of use, it appears Toby Albrecht's phone stopped working when he met our suspect. If you speak to his friends, they might be able to help you locate where he was when it happens. I've got their contact emails for you. There you go. May and egg. Blimey. If you find anything interesting, make sure you send it to Arthur. He's desperate to know more about this in person. Okay, Cleo, you are washing your hands of me, are you? Fine. So, do I just email all of these three people to start off with and just go, oi,
Well,
where was he?
So read we'll read the text. It's you need 5 locations because you have 5 victims. So what are those 5 locations?
Well, we have Maine, Canberra.
You need to be more specific than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have
on the
Sir
patient.
Frothalot.
Correct.
Sir Frothalot, Canberra. So that is Ruby. I'm hoping you can now help me here, Helen.
The Milford Hotel for Timothy.
Oh, yes, of course.
Milford Worldwide.
Milford
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Worldwide Hotel for Timothy.
Hirosaki Botanical Garden.
Oh,
for,
excellent. Yes, of course. I'm so glad you're paying attention.
Amy.
We have the name of the restaurant, China Garden, for the person in Lewiston who was Madison, I think.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. It's amazing how all of this information, it's just all there. It's all sprinkled and spread about.
All the information's there. It's just you have to find it. Yeah.
So Hirosaki Botanical for Amy. So we've got 4 out of the 5. We now need... So now let's find out Toby Albrecht's location for Toby.
Yep.
I mean, you could email him, but it would be a problem.
Well, Toby is a little deceased. Partially deceased. Okay, if I just email all 3. Toby, wherefore art thou, Toby?
Toby or not Toby?
The wrong play.
It's catching. Sorry.
Don't apologize, Dan.
I'm not trying to take your job.
That's amazing. Where is he? Where was he? Etc. That's just... I mean, the chat has gone silent in appreciation, I'm assuming. Round of applause, I think, for Hella there. We do also, of course, have this map here for Hanover buses. I feel like this is now going to come into play.
I do hope so.
I mean, wow. That was amazing. I'm still recovering from that. Thanks, Helen.
Sometimes I can just...
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, we've had one email back. Gunnar says, I'm glad someone is investigating what happened to Toby. I'm not sure if this helps, but when I was changing buses at Braunschweiger Platz, my phone said his last known location was 1.75 kilometres away. I hope that's of use. Of course it is, Gunnar. Of course it is. To BE or not to BE, says Caroline. Yes. Oh, that's good as well. I'm going to have to email each of these individually, aren't I? Because only one of these has come back. Let me just check for spam. No spam here. Fine, I will email them all individually.
Cleo's one.
Just do that. Copy. Stop copying that. Inbox. Cleo. Okay. I'll email you. Toby, where? And then I'll email you. May and Egg. Toby, where? So that should come through. Okay. We do have in this map. Are you okay with me writing on this, Helen? I'm going to have to write on it. Sorry.
Go for it.
Because you're going to get. For those who don't know, I gave Helen the 6 season 1 boxes once I'd finished with them. So I try to write on these props as little as possible. But there's times when I have to. I'll have to do it.
And I told him that the scribble on them adds to the value.
Really doesn't. Okay, so Gunnar723 says, when I was changing at Braunschweiger Platz, let's zoom in on this, shall we? Let's zoom in a little for you lot. Don't do that. There we go. That is possibly too close. Anyway, at Braunschweiger Platz. So where is Braunschweiger Platz?
Over on the right at the green line. Is it green or black?
Green line. I could see a red line.
It looks green. I think it's black. It's the by the letter K.
It is back.
It is. My monitor. Sorry.
Yep, that's fine. So when I was changing at Braunschweiger Platz, my phone says his last known location was 1.75 kilometres away. We do have down here a little key for 500 metres, so I will turn that into a distance that is useful. So 500 metres is 1.5 centimetres, so we need 3.5 of that, don't we? 500, 1,000, 1,500, 1.75, so it's 3.5 times 1.5.
How much is 500 meters?
Uh,
you're off the edge of the screen, so I can't quite tell.
500 meters is 1.5 centimeters.
Okay, so double it.
3.
And then add another unit.
4.5.
There you go. So and then add a little more. Yeah.
4.5 and then add half.
Yeah.
So it's 0.75. So 5.25. Foxy agrees with me. 5.25. Yeah. So.
A television ruler.
I want to say shush, but actually, I'm not going to shush you for that. That's lovely. So it's 5.25 centimeters from when I was changing at. So therefore, there's 2 lines there, the red line and the black line. So it's going to be sort of here. I'm just going to move it off the screen whilst I make some dotted lines, because it's easiest as I move this round. Better. I've ballsed it up. Right.
Is that true, Saster? If you're a TV celeb, they just throw rulers at you?
We definitely don't want Dan using a compass. It has a pointy end.
I could have done
That's
something pointy for Puzzle Boat. Anyway.
That's what I should submit. I should just submit Dan at like a needlepoint one. Like,
so I've done a few points. So it's like there's your sort of. So it could be 7 or 6. I think 5 is too far away. So we've narrowed it down to a couple, but we've got 2 more clues. Your next clue. Toby was the best friend I've had I can't believe he's gone. When I checked my phone, it looked when I got off the bus in central Hanover at the end of the R line, his last location was 1 kilometre away. Right. Hanover Central. At the end of the R line. Well, there's the R. So there's the end of the R line. So we need 1 kilometre. So that is 3 centimetres away from that. So that is there. So again, it's either 6 or 7. It's so one of them has got. Excuse me 1 second. So this is one of them, and this is another one of them. So those are the 2 arcs we've drawn so far. So we know it's either 6 or 7. The next one, the last clue. As I changed between the R and D bus lines, it says 2 kilometres away. Is that useful? Probably not. You've all been very specific. Okay, the R line is this green. Where's the D? Show me the D. I wish I hadn't...
Language.
Yeah.
Language.
Okay, it's this yellow line here. When I change from R to D, so that is here, because that is the only point they make, 2 kilometres away, which is 6 centimetres away from here, which goes to... it's here.
Yeah.
It intersects here. So it is number 7. So he went to the Sprengel Museum. The Sprengel Museum. So there we go. Just zoom out a little. So I think he went to the Sprengel Museum. So I should email Arthur with that. Arthur... Ooh, what is his name?
Wait.
What is his current email?
Could you...
You okay?
Yeah, we'll be okay. We'll find out.
Okay. I mean, if it isn't 7, I'll just email with 6. But it's my poor measuring if it's gone wrong. What do I actually need to do with this? I forget. Cleo.
You are giving a list of 5 places. You're trying to identify
hang
where.
on. Yes, so this isn't even what we need. What we need is we now need to find a person in all of these locations. Okay, so we're going to go to this link.
Yes.
Oh, right, okay. Edinburgh location. Helps if I put the right shot on. Here we go. So, this is the CCTV search technology. It allows us to find a police sketch, to use a police sketch to find a physical footage. So, we know that the Edinburgh location is Milford Worldwide Hotel. Canberra, Sir Frothalot. Hirosaki is Hirosaki Botanical Garden. No, just Hirosaki Botanical. Lewiston, China Garden. And Hanover, we're going to try Sprengel Museum. Let's click submit. It's not Sprengel, it's the other one. Landesmuseum, Hanover. Let's submit that then. Oh.
I was with you on the measurements.
Well, I mean, it's me. It's just me being a complete muppet with this ruler. So, here we have some CCTV results of someone in Edinburgh, Canberra, Hirosaki, Lewiston, and Hanover. All on the 9th. So he was in Edinburgh on the 9th at 4 p.m. Hanover on the 9th at 5 p.m. Wednesday the 9th, 11 a.m. So that's a pretty tight turnaround from there to there. But anyway, one of these may not be... maybe that's going to be a puzzle. Who knows? And then Thursday the 10th. And then probably Thursday the 10th there as well. Did we get a message for that? Oh no, we need to... According to this, we need to... If you find out anything interesting, send it to Arthur.
So what have you found out?
That it's this person.
And
I need to
The award.
I need to identify this person.
well, no, what is unusual about these results?
Well, he can't have been in all these places. So therefore,
Why not?
because the times are too close together, you can't be in Edinburgh at 4:57 p.m. on the 9th, and then in Hanover 50 minutes later. It's not.
Are you
possible.
sure Are you sure it's 15 minutes later?
In fact,
Time difference.
Okay, it's 8 minutes earlier, isn't it? Because
Mm-hmm.
because of if you add an hour, so
Mm-hmm.
they're all. I'm going to say that based on the times, aside from Lewiston, which is a lot earlier.
In what country is Lewiston? Where is Lewiston?
It's in Australia.
No.
Is it not? Oh, it's in Maine, sorry. And so that would be on the east coast, wouldn't it? So take off 5 hours. So instead of it being about 5 p.m., it would be about midday. These were all taken at the same time. So it's not one person, it's 5. We have clones, I'm going to say. Or at least a set of quintuplets. Very attractive quintuplets. Okay, I'm just going to email Arthur then. Arthur Dunbar. I think that's the email address. I don't normally. They give us the email address and I can't find it. It's actually...
He emailed earlier.
He did.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. Reply. Clones.
Well, there you go. I'll see what happens.
Or brothers. More than one person. All quite attractive. Okay, let's see what happens there. The same man met with all of the victims in the different country at the same time. There is no way the same person could be in 5 different places at once, so it must have been 5 identical people. It's possible that they're identical quintuplets. See, I said that. But I think that given the fact this case seems to centre about Cadmos AI, there's an explanation that's much more likely they must be robots. Ooh, whoever is responsible is clearly getting skilled with robotics. And now they must also have a huge amount of money from shorting the shares. You try saying that quickly. All very interesting. I really think we're getting somewhere. Unfortunately, though, I'm a bit worried about an email I just received. I haven't had a chance to look at it. How are you worried about... Here's the link.
Are they worried or just word?
I'm a bit word.
There's a couple typos in this episode, but I'm sure they'll feed.
Tell me them later and I'll feed them up the train.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Yeah. If you can just pass that along, just so you know.
Okay,
so
volume up, click me. Zazda says it's got to be Elon Musk. Yes, this is, yeah.
No, Elon Musk doesn't know how to do anything.
Ooh, yeah. Here we go. Here's the message. I bet it's going to be the person saying, yeah, you're still investigating me. I'm going to do something nasty.
I warned you to stop looking for me. I thought we had a deal. Clearly, you can't be trusted.
No.
Here are the consequences. Do not cross me again.
Ooh, dear. Ooh, I think we've got another dead one. I think Amy, in Hirosaki may now be dead because Toby Albrecht died when this turned red. Tab stop. Only a 40% death rate. Yes, indeed. Lewiston is still alive. Edinburgh is still alive. Canberra. So the fact that they were able to be, brought to life doesn't mean they're still safe.
I mean, if anything that reality has taught me is that if you have 3 contestants and 2 episodes left, we're going to have a winner.
Timothy's darts. I'll be in touch when I've got more information. For now, keep your head down. I think Amy has gone deaded. Sorry. But that feels like that's the end of this week's episode. This month's episode. So, there we go. Thank you very much, everyone. That was a lot of fun. Thank you, Helen.
That's okay.
For the... I'm going to do air quotes here. Help. Me and my broccoli were definitely needing a bit of help at times. And you stayed quiet, waiting for me to work out that those were chopsticks. I definitely the chopsticks. It took me too long to spot.
I like to let you shine.
That was funny. I will say that. Just watching you work through all the names and hold them in your hand and point around.
This is why I like the Detective Society, because not only are you given all the information, you have to work out its context. So we were given it was the little symbol on the end of the chopsticks that was technically the important bit, because that told us the restaurant. But then you need the context, the fact that it's a chopstick itself was part of the context. So it's very clever and hugely enjoyable.
If you have a few minutes, the Principal Banking website is very funny.
So what was that? Principalbanking.com.
Yeah,
Do what matters. With our current account... Oh, I've clicked too quickly. You can earn rewards every time you spend, meaning you get to do more of what matters. Basic...
The maths is somewhat questionable.
Basic current account. Do you need somewhere to store your money that isn't a dusty old sack under your floorboards? Then you need our basic current account. It enables you to pay monthly in and take money out. What more could you want? Please do not sign up for this account if you intend to use it to launder money. Reward current account gives you a bonus whenever you spend money. You receive a 2% cashback bonus on all purchases you make using your reward, giving you extra money to do with as you please. Our reward current account costs a monthly fee of £10, which we deduct from your account. Fine. Savings account. Our savings account is perfect for those who have money but don't want to spend it. And even better, we'll pay you for leaving money in our bank. It's the accredited... This is, to be fair, competitive these days at 0.01% APR.
Did you read the asterisk on the cashback bonus?
That's what I liked.
Bonus capped at £9 per month. So you could get £10 of monthly fees and only mostly get £9 back. Good. Mortgages. Find the right mortgage for you. Getting any... there was a lovely... we're currently not accepting new mortgage customers. Tough luck. Love it. Getting any of our mortgages is a huge financial risk which should not be entered into lightly. It's statistically highly likely that we'll repossess your home. We're currently not allowing any of our existing customers to change their mortgage deals, meaning you're stuck with whatever you're currently on, no matter how financially crippling it is. Sorry. Reinforced vaults. We've now completed the process of installing new reinforced vaults at all branches of Principal Banking. The vaults are 10 times thicker than the previous design, meaning the money we store aside is very secure, and those customers who make use of our safe deposit box could be confident that their prized possessions are safe from thieves. The vaults combine reinforced concrete with heavy metal doors, meaning they are fully protected from both explosives and tunnelling. The downside we have so far is that for some unknown reason, our new vaults smell of small rodents. Now we know why there's an owl problem. Because there's small rodents. Owls invade branch. Oh, ridiculous.